What's up, y'all? Welcome to Connected. I'm your host, DJ Is. Now, check it out. I know I'm like 3 minutes late, but you know, I wanted to take a little time to celebrate today's show with my team. So we were just chopping up and getting our little celebration in because today is our show of 100 grind ops that we've been able to bring to you through Connected. So that's a huge milestone for us. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, I got to, you know, talk to my team about it and kind of just, you know, get our quick celebration in before we went live today. So, you know, I had to take 2 minutes or 3 minutes to you know, just get my joy in. So check it out. For those of you who are just tuning in, like I said, today is our 100th grind op of job opportunities that we've been able to bring to you guys. All right. And this show is pretty much self-explanatory. The show is called Connected, you know, and that's pretty much, I mean, it's self-explanatory, right? We take film, music, live engineering, broadcasting, culinary, most of the things that are creative, and we kind of just fuse you with opportunities that best suit your skills in the workplace. And the goal is to obviously not just connect you, but the goal here is, man, to get you hired and get you working and get you paid for your labor and your services, and to teach you how to stay hired in these places and how to elevate and grow within the infrastructure of business. So that's pretty much the gist of our show. You know, for those of you first day tuning in, this is something we do every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We've been rocking, I want to say, since March. So today is episode 20. Huge milestone for us. Also, be sure to follow us on your Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Our social media handle is Connected. So check it out. That is a great way for you to track our day-to-day movement. I tell folks all the time, you know, people want to know what my day-to-day looks like, traveling, in the studio, what the demand is, what the pressure is. And that's a great way to get an idea of what it is I do here. And like I said, you might catch me, you know, LA, New York, Miami, anywhere in between LA, overseas. But it's just some great insight for you guys to see what it looks like in my road. So you know that, you know, I'm not just, you know, hustling you guys. I'm in the field on my grind. So without any further ado, we're about to get into these grind ops. And again, this is a show where we are at 100 job opportunities that we have brought you. So get your pen and your pad, because I'm going to kick off a lot of information today. We got a lot of details, a lot of notes for you guys to jot down. Also, get your Q&A ready. So by the time I get out of these grind ops, I could just get to these questions and give you as much information as I possibly can. So get your Q&A ready. Also, we got some exciting things coming up for the show Connected. Might see some new faces, a couple of really great guests and interviews for you all. So, you know, I'm very excited about that. I can't let the cat out of the hat too much, but I just want to let you know we got some new exciting things coming your way on our show here Connected. All right, so first grind up of the day, we're moving into the field of recording. This is live sound engineer, hotel looking for live sound engineer for venue operations and artist communications. And this is in NOLA, New Orleans. All right, Louisiana, here we go. These details are sound engineer. Responsibilities will include maintenance of in-house system, setup and breakdown gear, liaison between hotel and bands, and will report to and work directly with cultural engineer and production manager. All right. Time management is a must for this position. Candidate must have a positive attitude, a true love for music, a desire to give musicians and the audience the best experience possible. Treating artists with the utmost respect is central to this position. Now, what's great about this, I mean, it's pretty much outlined for you. As you can tell, these details pretty much lend itself to someone who's very social, knows how to talk to folks, and is very, very structured as far as when it comes to time and being on point making sure that things are together, having structure. You'll be a liaison between the hotel and band, so you got to know a bit of business language and how to talk to folks in those environments. All right, whole different posture. You'll report to and work directly with the cultural engineer and production manager. So you got to know how to work with folks. All right. What's cool is a lot of people that I've worked with in these particular environments don't really deal with the hotel or anything on the business side. They pretty much just deal only with the artists. So this is it's a bit much to think about, because a lot of times, like I said, these gigs you're just dealing with the managers, making sure the back line is all smooth, and sound checks. So it's pretty much the environment with the artists. Here you'll be dealing with the hotel, you'll be a liaison, you'll be dealing with the cultural engineer and production manager. So you got to be a people person. That's huge. Okay, being a people person, knowing how to talk to folks. I've ran into a slew of engineers who are rude as hell, who don't want to be told what to try. Can you try putting this on the drums? Can you the vocals so it's always just a great thing in business just to be a humble, good person who knows how to talk to people. You'd be surprised how much more you're able to get done. All right. And I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I know with me in the venue, man, I don't want to deal with people that ain't trying to hear me. I want to deal with people who are willing to work with me. I have a particular thing. I like the way my music to be heard. I like the way my my performance to be experienced. And it's about working together. All right. So hope you got the notes on that one. Moving off to grind op number 2. Grind op number 2 is in the field of film, media editor. All right. Nonprofit foster children seeks media editor to edit both audio and video. This is in Brea, California. All right, cool, my hometown. So I hope all my Recording Connection students are tuned in today, because this is something that you can possibly partake in, get in there and execute and overperform. All right, details of this gig are nonprofit organization that improves the lives of foster children in America is seeking a media editor that will assist the creative director in editing video material and support creative production needs. Ideal candidate must have a strong desire to help children in foster care. Candidate will be working on editing both audio and video. Experience with Pro Tools and Adobe Premiere is a must. This is a part-time position, at least 3 days a week, 20 to 24 hours, $14 per hour. All right, now, man, I want to say this might be the first grind out we've gotten that actually has a number attached to it. $14 an hour. I mean that's pretty dope. And what I like about this particular grind up is it's coming from a good place. And I've always been a magnet for things that have opportunities attached to it that lend itself to the give back, helping out kids for a great cause. That's the stuff you want to do along the way of your journey. I call it community service, because we're all required to do it, to help. I look at the principle of what I'm able to do here for you guys every Monday. And, the reality is at some point in my career, somebody did the exact same thing for me and my brother, which has got us to a place where I'm able to come back, share my experiences, share my information, and help you guys, think of different opportunities and ways to make things happen for your passion. So I like that about this particular grind up. Just a strong desire to help children in foster care. I mean, straight up, we're looking for somebody who's, has that component piece to them. All right. It's a non-profit organization. All right. And the great thing is it's for a great cause. They improve the lives of foster children in America. So that's just good energy. That environment is always just cool. And it's a part-time position, at least 3 days a week. So it's not too strenuous. 20 to 24 hours. That's a lot of hours. I'm not sure if that's 20 to 24 hours spread out through the interim of 3 days, or it's 20 hours a day. You never know. I mean, I work 16 hours a day, so you just never know. But it's $14 an hour. I mean, that's real time. That's real life. All right. So make sure you know, especially it's in Brea, California. So make sure, you know, all our recording connection students definitely take a dab into that one. All right. Moving on to the next grind up. This is in the field of recording, audio engineer and instructor. Kids after school program needs an audio engineer to work as part-time instructor. This is in Midlothian, VA. All right. I'm sorry. I ain't never seen that city before. But again, this is another grind up that just has a positive thread to it. You know, great cause. I mean, you know, what more, you know, what more to think about or say? You know, audio engineer will teach basic Pro Tools and music sequencing. Audio engineer will be responsible for coordinating setup, breakdown, and recording of birthday parties, live events, and mini concerts. Candidate must be able to communicate efficiently and manage time schedules for different age groups. Candidate will have to pass a background check. Now, for those of you, you know, who haven't done things in schools or anything, they definitely do a background check on everybody, which is great. You know, definitely can't have any looseness, you know, floating around campuses. You must be able to communicate efficiently and manage time schedules for different age groups. Now, throughout the course of my show, one of the things I've been stressing is structure, promptness, you know, organization. These are all the fundamentals of a great presentation. Being on time, being the last one to leave, being the first one to get there, making sure everybody has their details, their information, making sure you know how to organize groups, work groups, put things together. And you know, you see this time and time again popping up in these details, right? Must be able to manage time schedules for different age groups. So important, so crucial. You know, a lot of what you're able to get done within your day comes from structure, being able to execute and being able to keep your day in front of you and not let it get behind you. And that comes with just being on point. You'll be surprised how many people just can't manage their time. And I don't care if it's traffic, it's always something. But you know, the thing is, when you prep and you plan out your day, you do whatever you got to do to make sure you're able to execute and be there. So you'll be teaching Pro Tools and music sequencing to kids. You'll also be coordinating setup, breakdown, and recording birthday parties, live events, and mini concerts. So it sounds very active. So you definitely want to be able to know your ins and outs on this thing. You know, audio engineer and instructor. So you'll be instructing people. So that's a very detailed, technical type of gig. So you definitely want to make sure you're able to get in there and overperform. That's another thing that I stress throughout the shows is being able to overperform in these jobs and not underperforming. Because when you underperform, you don't last long and you will be fired. All right, moving on to the next grind up of the day. This is in the field of recording. Podcast editor. Podcast personality seeks audio editor to edit, add clips, ensure audio quality, and upload shows to server. This is in Chicago, Illinois. Let me break down some of those details. Candidate must have at least 1 year experience with Pro Tools. I know all my recording connection students got that on lock. Candidate must have good time management and able to handle a lot of tasks at once. Candidate must understand the basics of websites and internet. Again, here we go, time management, okay? You'll see it pop up on half of my grind ops every Monday. Time management, structure. Key point, guys. That's a key point and key factor. You'll have at least 1 year experience with Pro Tools. I always say to my audience, it's always good to know an array of software programs, especially if you're an engineer or if even on the film side. You know, Pro Tools, Ableton, Logic, Reason, all of those things, Adobe, you know, all that stuff. Final Cut Pro. Know them all so that when you get into these environments, you can fly and there's no downtime. I've been in studios where I've worked with folks who are great at one particular software program and they slow me down. And as a songwriter, as a producer, as a creator, you know that when those ideas come, you want to be able to cut them and record them right then and there. You don't want to have any lag time. You know, it's almost like when you have an Apple computer and you get that spinning wheel when you're trying to do something. Ooh, you could just, man, you can punch a hole in the wall. That's how crazy it gets. So you definitely want to know an array of things, guys. It's only beneficial to you guys, and it allows you to, you'll be surprised how many opportunities can come up just from somebody noticing that you know an array of things. Okay. Also, candidate must understand the basics of websites. So you might be putting websites together. You might be, dabbling in that road. So that's a bit technical. So you definitely want to make sure your chops are up on those particular things. And being able to translate what it is, what their ideas are, being able to bring those to life from a look standpoint is very, very key. And I say that because, if you're gonna create a website for somebody, you got to know how to take in their ideas, their creativity, and bring it to life. All right. Moving on to our final grind up of the day. This is in the field of film. For all my Recording Connection students, streaming media video producer. Business communications company wants a video producer to create engaging on-site content for their customers. This is located in San Francisco, California. What's up, Bay Area? Streaming video producer, San Francisco, California. Candidate will be in charge of the production of live events, manage a production team, and traveling throughout the U.S. for live customer events. Candidate must be passionate about technology, learning, and client satisfaction. Candidate must have at least 1 to 2 years of experience in film editing. Experience working with corporations is a big plus. Okay, so check it out. It's a pretty big role. You'll be in charge of live events, managing production time, or team, which is the same thing. Team time. You'll be handling it all, and traveling throughout the U.S. for live customers. Now, this sounds fun because you're on the go. You're obviously going to be working with a lot of people, putting people together, and you'll be doing the production of live events. Now, that's a very sparse environment. Setup, breakdown, the whole nine. And you got to be passionate about technology, which means they're looking for you to know your stuff. Okay. Learning and client satisfaction. So, the thing is, when you present things in a client setting, you just want to make sure they're happy. You want to make sure they feel like they're getting exactly what it is they want. You got to at least have 1 to 2 years of experience in film editing. I know we got that covered. And experience working with corporations is a big plus, and that's kind of where your resume comes in handy for those of you who have been able to put one together. Throughout the shows, we've been trying to help you guys understand what a resume needs to look like and what it shouldn't look like. So, that's a big plus for those of you who've had the benefit and experience of working with the corporations. It's a different language, and like I said, one of the things I try to open you guys up to here on my show is just presentation. The posture in these environments is very different. It's very, very professional. Okay, from how you walk in that door, your attitude, those are the things that people in these environments can spot a mile away. So definitely a plus here if you've had the benefit of working with a corporation. Okay, guys, that is my 5th grind up of the day, but it is our 100th grind up that we have been able to bring to you through Connected. Like I said, it's a huge milestone for us. Shout out to my team who's been able to consistently deliver and come through and make this happen for you guys. Moving on to my favorite part of the show is my Q&A. All right, it's where I get to ask, or not even ask, but I get to answer your guys' questions that you all ask. All right, so we're going to move off to the first question today. Actually, this isn't a question, but this is from a viewer of ours, Dwight, who I've seen here a couple times. He says, very solid personal info is. Shout out to Dwight for tuning in today, man. Much respect. I definitely hope you continue to join us every Monday here. All right. Next question. Had a question from Manolo who wants to see you working on some beats. Tell him we're going to be upgrading the show in a few things. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So check it out. Manolo, I'm going to show you how I get down eventually. I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to show you how I get down. Okay. How I get down is right here. This is where I've been able to make numerous records, a slew of records actually, a slew of hits. in real time, this is how I get down. My MPC 3000, my turntable, my crates, and that's all I need. I tell folks all the time, man, all I need is an outlet. All I need is an electrical outlet, and I can get busy. So we'll definitely feature something for you on the show. All right. Next question. Like the vibe of the show, always informative. Oh, man, appreciate that, Dwight. This next question is from Desiree. I'm finding that being a freelance engineer really makes you your own boss in a way. Recently I feel like I may have made a mistake. What tips do you have in regards to dealing with your own affairs and basically being your own boss? You know, I don't know what your mistake was, but let me just say this. The thing with being your own boss and dealing with people, the most important thing you want to do in any business relationship or any business transaction is make sure that everybody has clarity as to what the expectations are and how they're going to be executed. The one thing with being your own boss is you have to be on point prior to dealing with anybody. What you don't want to do is give people the idea or assumption that this is your first rodeo and you don't know what you're doing. So with being your own boss, that's something you work towards. That's something you get to the point where you got all your bases covered and you can operate in that fashion. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to make crucial mistakes that get in the way of you possibly having consistent business opportunities come your way. It's very important to be prepped and ready to assume that role before you jump into those waters. Being your own boss, I mean, that can be anybody. But the thing is when you're dealing business and there's transactions and people paying and you're working and all those things, you just want to make sure everybody has clarity on what it is that you're doing. Expectations, how I'm being paid, what days. That's another thing that comes into play with being a boss is structure, organization. Those are the key elements to being your own boss. Okay, so I hope I'm able to help you out with your question there, Desiree. All right. And also, being your own boss means you need to have some way to sell and get business. That's another thing, because you can be the boss of nothing and you ain't get nothing done. So, definitely want to make sure you have a way to sell and get business. That's crucial. Let's see. Another question here. Tell us. So I was having a conversation last week, and I was in a room with an artist and a couple of people, and they wanted to know what the work load is, in an artist role like an usher. And I told them, being with Usher has really, allowed me to see a work ethic outside of my own work ethic, because I consider myself to pretty much, I grind. I work, but because I love it. And being with Usher allowed me to see his work ethic in a way that keeps me motivated. I look at a guy who doesn't sleep much, always trying to perfect his craft. Whether it's meetings, conference calls, he's always on the go. He's always on the grind. And, I look at his regiment for being able to dance and sing and stay in pitch. I told him, I said, he gets on a treadmill and runs for hours and sings. That's how he's able to do that. And, when you're an artist and you're looking for, remedies or tips or, things that'll help you progress and grow as an artist, if you're a singer and a dancer, you want to get on a treadmill and sing. Because I've seen it in real time, and if the greats are doing it, man, chances are you should probably try it too, because it'll make you better. So just a little point I want to throw out there to any artist that might be joining me today who sing and just want to know what the work ethic looks like at a level of an artist like Usher. All right. Thank you too, Desiree. I appreciate you joining me today. Shout out to you. Let's see. Any other questions? Bear with me, guys. I'm about to start scrolling. Um, well, guys, it looks like that's a wrap. Um, Also, too, something to keep in mind is that, you know, what's been coming up a lot for me is, people say, well, what's your day like? How do you plan your day out? How do you get the most out of your day? And that's a constant evolving practice. And I say that because as much as you like to keep your day very, very structured and very, very on point, you know, things do come up and you got to maneuver and you got to make adjustments. But at least if you get your day in a space that allows you to be extremely productive, and you're able to execute everything you want to do, you'll find that you're able to get a lot more done, and you can actually engage in the opportunities uh, in a way that allows you to just not be all over the place, but to just execute. And for me, it's something that I've had to learn over the years. But I like to get up, have my tea, eat some oatmeal, and I get up around 7:30 a.m. and get on my emails, get on my texts, get on my phone calls, so that around 1 o'clock, I've done most of that kind of work to where I can get in a space like this and be creative and create music where I'm great at, where I'm best at. I like to say, I've been able to do a lot in business, but I know at the end of the day, my priority, my number one, is my music, because music has created the conversations for everything I've been able to dabble in and deal in outside of music. Music has been the foundation, and music has sparked those conversations. So for those of you, whether it's in film, engineering, broadcasting, live sound, you'll find that as you start to put your day together, by the end of the day, you'll look at your day and say, man, I got a lot done. And because you got a lot done, you got this person reaching out to you, you got this opportunity over here going down, you got all these other things that were able to come out of you just really getting in there and tackling your day in a way that allows you to be effective. All right, so I just want to leave that with you guys. Again, man, shout out to my squad. Shout out to the Recording Connection. Today is our 100th grind up that we've been able to bring to you. That's a great milestone for us, and I'm proud. That's why I'm gonna keep mentioning it. But you know, we couldn't do this if we didn't have you guys viewing us and joining us every Monday. So hat off to you guys as well for taking the time to come here and just offer your time. All right. So be sure, catch us here every Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, we got some great new things coming up for you guys with our show. We got guests. You might see a co-host. I don't want to say too much, but it's about to get really, really fresh and exciting for you guys. And that's really what Connected is about. It's about evolving and just being right here where we can just converse and share information. All right. I will catch you on the next one. Until then, be on your grind. Don't let the week get away from you. Utilize Tuesday through Sunday to get it done. All right. Catch you on the next one.